In this video, I'm talking about conversation topic hijacking. So probably you experience this, that you start a topic and the other person just hijack this. One example is that let's say I bought this new sweater or t-shirt or whatever you buy, and then this is your topic. You want to show off, you want to share something, and the other person changes the topic that, oh, I bought a similar one 2 years ago, and start to talk about himself or herself, and change the topic and just talk, instead of letting you say whatever you want to say because you had some experience and you want to share this, and probably you feel bad about this. Now, everybody does this sometimes, but what can you do if you have a friend or partner who does this often? And of course we have different strategies. So sometimes we just try to take back the topic and continue and ignore this one, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. So the first is being aware of this, and this awareness is also related to you, because maybe you also do this. So monitor yourself and monitor your conversation partner. But actually monitoring the other person is not so important, because your emotion that you pissed off will tell you that something is wrong. But so monitor yourself for this problem, because maybe you are the person who unknowingly hijacks other people's topic. So in a conversation, let's say you spend a little bit more time, maybe you meet a friend, you haven't seen this person for a long time, and you spend 1 or 2 hours together to talk, and think about this, that there are topics. There are one type of topic that is related only on you, and it's not really important or interesting for the other person. The other is the same for the other person, that you don't really care about the topic. And of course there are mutual topics that both of you enjoy. Now, usually with those topics there is no any problem. But sometimes we have a need to talk about something that maybe the other person doesn't care. For example, let's say that you don't really care about animals, but your friend or boyfriend or girlfriend or colleague has a dog or a cat, and always start to talk about the cat, and then maybe you change the topic, you don't let the other person talk about this. Or maybe the opposite, that you have a cat or you have a child and you talk about your child, and the other person doesn't really care, want to finish. So be aware of this behavior and develop strategies about how to handle when other people hijack their topic, they don't have patience. So of course the solution would be that you have friends and family members that you have common topics. So either choose the friends that you have the same interest, or choose the topics that mutual with that person. But it's natural that we have topics that we want to share, but maybe we are aware that the other person doesn't care about, but we still want to talk about this. In this case, try to reduce the time when you talk about this, and try to put an element in that topic that relevant to the other person. So maybe you can talk about your favorite topic, but talk about those aspects that you think is interesting for the other person. So let's say the other person doesn't care about your child, but you have a child, then, and if you want to talk about a child that let's say, oh, my 2-year-old son just learned this kind of word, and maybe the other person doesn't care. Yeah, everybody 2-year children learn new words. Who cares about this? But maybe the person cares about learning patterns. There you can talk about this, and you can give some funny examples that the child made a mistake and you didn't think about this. And maybe this linguistic element can be interesting for the other person. So this is about finding a mutually acceptable topic in the topic that you mainly care about this. And of course, when it's your topic, try to be short also. And now what to do when the other person hijacks, and they don't the other person usually doesn't know that they hijack the topic, that they are waiting for the keyword. Actually, they don't know about this. They are waiting for the keyword that you talk, and then they interrupt you and they start to talk usually about themselves. Oh, I also did this. And you start to talk about, oh, you went to a Japanese restaurant. Japanese restaurant, I love them. Last week, they interrupt you and they don't know. Because people believe that when they are enthusiastic about that topic, then they must share this, and the other person will be the same enthusiastic about the topic, but of course not. So related to yourself, be aware of this. Now, and when other people do this, in an extreme case, of course, you can break up the relationship and don't meet anybody, but the person anymore. But before that, tell this to the person. Hey, do you know that I wanted to talk about something and you hijack my topic? You started to talk about yourself and you don't. So this is a relatively extreme case because you directly confront with the other person. You can make some softer version. Oh, no, let me finish. Let me just go back. And then you focus. So you don't focus too much on the warning and reminding the person that you did this again. You start to talk about yourself and I wanted to talk about myself. You just do it in a short time. Hey, let me finish. And then you talk about this. But of course, it's not a good conversation when people just talk about their own selfish topics. So you have to show some empathy and maybe even compassion about the other person, that when they are enthusiastic about that topic, then try to make yourself interested in that topic and you can relate to the person. So it's not just a topic, but it's about the relationship and emotion management. So if you put yourself in a more compassionate way and you feel that the other person is happy to talk about that stupid topic that you don't care about, this makes yourself care about the person and not just suffering that you have to listen to that boring topic again and again, but be involved, make some effort for the other person, and of course try to be interested in the topic, but be interested in the person, care about the person, and it's a kind of politeness. So a good conversation is based on mutually acceptable topics, but sometimes understand that we have this need that we want to talk about our topics even if we know that the person doesn't care. In this case, try to make it short, and if the other person is talking about their topic, don't be rude, let this person talk, and hopefully both of you have this kind of awareness. If not, you are aware of this but the other person not, then you have to train and teach the other person, and hopefully that person will be more careful. But if there is no any other way, then you can, and you don't want to confront directly, you can also show disinterest in the topic. So the person starts to talk about different yoga positions, then you can just you can also change the topic, or you can just show and let the person realize that this topic is not popular because the other person doesn't give the things that the speaker is talking. but it's not really the polite way, but this is also, so there are different way of directly or indirectly signaling that it's not, the other person's topic is not interesting for you, you don't want to talk about this, or directly or indirectly signaling that you want the other person to listen to your topic and don't hijack the topic and show some interest.